Watch a kung fu movie. Your next storyteller told me that her favorite superstition is when she tries to chew her food an even amount of times on both sides of her mouth for fear that she will get oral cancer. I think that's my favorite one so far. I love her very much. Please give it up for the amazing JoAnn Schinderle!
Cancer's real! Somebody to fuck with. I'm gonna sit, I'm tired. I'm just kidding. Okay, you guys, this is a real life story. Can you hear me? I'm yelling. Of 4 consecutive months of my life, titled Me, Myself, and I. The names of the characters have been changed, starting with my ex-boyfriend. We'll call him Liam because he's such an idiot that when we once talked about having children, he said, I'm going to name my firstborn son Liam, and then his middle name William after my father. And I was like, that's the same goddamn name! Okay. Liam, boyfriend. And by boyfriend, I mean we worked at a summer camp together, and on the first night we met, he tried to kiss me, and I literally was like, whoa, wait, stop. I don't know you. For all I know, you have herpes. And he thought that was endearing and cute. And I was 19, and so we ended up dating for 3 years. So that started. 19 week is what I wrote, actually. Flash forward to me drinking on a rooftop and getting a text from him that just says, marry me, marry me, marry me. And to my fear, I was like, oh my God, come on, dude. I am 21 and going to college in Minnesota, and you are 26 and living in San Francisco. Like, I am not about to pull some forever type shit with you. So I just didn't respond. And it was 2005, and text messages cost a lot of money back then. So I was justified. Plus, throughout our bond, I just thought that we were really adorable drinking buddies and didn't think much further than that. So I didn't take his text too seriously. 1 week later, guess who shows up at my doorstep? Bags in one hand, puppy in the other. Right? He quit his job, left his home, brought a dog into the mix to now become my immediate problem. I just want to paint this picture for you. I am 21, living in a rented room in a college house with 7 other 21-year-olds. Our backyard was built on vomit and LCD sound system. That is where my life was at that moment. Plus, it was October, and I was leaving to study abroad come that January. And here's the thing, if I could just flash a movie scene montage of like tears and yelling and cab cars and police officers, that is what the month was like living with this dude, right? So we moved out after a roommate intervention. And we moved to this swanky brownstone apartment with our dog. And I continued to go to school and work 2 jobs to prep for classes for my trip to New Zealand. And he got a job as a bar manager and was super great at cooking dinner and taking yoga classes. Flash forward again to 1 week before I'm leaving for my New Zealand trip. I go back home to say goodbye to my family. My mom, being the always productive woman that she is, says to me as we're driving to the Greyhound bus station, hey, let's stop at Wells Fargo. I ordered you some New Zealand currency so you'll have money when you land. Great! We go to the bank. The teller pulls up my account. Her face turns into a sinkhole as she flips the screen around to reveal that my account is $8,000 in the negatives. Motherfucker's dinner and yoga classes weren't coming from his hard-working hands, but in fact, my credit cards. Apparently, he had gotten fired from his job for stealing, but decided to go buy a car to prove his manliness. So he could drop me off at school, and then he could go to work. Which really, by work, I mean back to our fully furnished apartment to rummage through my passport documents, open up cash advance payday loans in my name. which is equating to the current moment that I find myself faced in, which is staring at a woman with white purple hair and judgy pink lipstick while trying to avoid eye contact with my mother, who has tears in her eyes as she writes a check for $8 grand to hand over to a bank to fix all the dumbass mistakes her daughter just made. It took a full year for my mother to talk to me again. To this day, any mention of the name Liam and she turns into a stone. She actually sent me a birthday card that year that just had a picture of a sock puppet with googly eyes and bold writing that just said, "Fuck you, happy birthday." I swear to God she had to go to Spencer Gifts to get that fucking card. I have it in a memoir book. Here's the thing. After that bank trip, I did get on that Greyhound bus. I did break up with my emotionally abusive boyfriend, and I did spend 2 days getting drunk in LA and then somehow being on the set of Judge Joe Brown. Whole different story. But I boarded that 17-hour plane on my own, and then we landed. Keep in mind, I was studying abroad with other American exchange students, so we showed up to New Zealand expecting to treat it like an all-inclusive Puerto Vallarta trip. And I was no different. I was now a vagabond woman. No man, no family, no home. That fucking smelly hostel was my only home. 2 drinks in, and I'm puking everywhere. Everyone's skinny dipping, and I'm rocking back and forth in my bunk. Flash forward to a second plane ride that takes me to the hospital. No one knows what's wrong. I'm being pumped with salt water to alleviate my fever, and I'm old enough to know that healthcare should be a thing that I should be worried about, but I'm naive enough to not know that the rest of the world has free healthcare. And I'm there for 3 days and 2 nights with a kidney infection. A very nice, legit, hobbit-looking woman was my confidant and savior while I was sick. She applied for my classes, she bought me dinner, she helped me furnish my apartment. She was a true saint for someone who, like me, who couldn't pee on their own without screaming for help. I lived this way for 2 weeks. I missed out on every social gathering, every class. I missed out on the crucial week that everyone finds their boyfriends and makeout buddies. And I was now dubbed as the sick girl. I even overheard a girl in the hallway of my apartment calling her mom saying, "I'm pretty sure the American down the hall is going to die this week." That's who I was! For my first 2 weeks in paradise, a paradise that I spent 3 years planning and fantasizing about. Then, the day came where I was off my meds and I could go out drinking again. I got the A-OK from the doctor. I left that office clicking my heels. Finally, I can join my fellow shitty American tourists on a night of adolescence debauchery. I ran home to my apartment. I knocked on all the doors. Sick girls free! Sick girls free! Island blunts, shots of barley wine, and for some reason crab legs all greeted me when I knocked on these doors. Everyone cheered, "Let's get sick girl drunk!" And drink we did, at one bar only. Everyone met at the cheapest, baddest bar in the baddest part of town, which in New Zealand means like southwest. So as being a 20-something tourist that I was, I made everyone in my honor take a group photo. We asked a local to manage several cameras and wait while we drunkenly posed for like 10,000 pictures. I was on cloud 9. Fuck my con artist ex-boyfriend, fuck my stone cold mother, fuck my kidneys, and fuck, where's my purse? After all the group photos and hugs, my purse, which held my phone, my keys, my passport, and all my personal information from the doctor's appointment that I was at earlier, gone. 2 girls in the group noticed that their purses were gone too. Ah, you know what? It's just my camera and some cash, no big deal. Let's get drunk! No. I burst into independent woman tears. For the first time in my life, I knew what the phrase "get your shit together" meant. So I run back to my apartment. I get on the phone, I call the embassy, I report a stolen passport, cancel my cards, replace my keys, the whole fucking 9 yards. Side note, of course the squirreliest boy in the group offers to give me a ride home. And then tries to make out with me. Don't fucking kick a girl when she's down, man. Next morning and $2,000 later, I come to find out that the rest of the group, including the girls who negated their responsibilities, continued to bar hop and ended up finding their purses at a dance bar. They were at a club and they saw the dudes who were taking our picture rummaging through some purses. And they were like, "Hey, I think that's mine." And totally just Beyonce'd their purses back, forgetting to ask if mine was there. And then the dudes apologized and bought a round of drinks for everybody. I lost faith in everything that 4 months, besides me, myself, and I. And if there was to be a reality TV aftermath, like montage of this story, it would say, Liam went on to move to 3 different states and be Facebook engaged to 4 different people. JoAnn's mom found confidence through quilting and teaching CCD classes. Hopefully that helpful hobbit is living a life of luxury. And JoAnn went on to write a full-length memoir of this entire tale. But after Oprah retired her book club, she once again lost faith in humanity and became a stand-up comic.
JoAnn Schinderle! Who is still not good at looking out for her purse.